and welcome back to the Pen Man. Today we're going to be taking a look at a pen that I consider a wannabe but ain't ever gonna be a Montblanc 149, and I am referring to the Jinhao 159. Now the Jinhao 159 is very similar to the Montblanc 149. Hopefully I don't get those two numbers mixed up during this video, but there's some very obvious differences. As far as size, very similar. As far as function, of course, the Montblanc 149 has a different filling mechanism. It's a piston filler, and as well it has a little ink window there, so you can tell. And the weight of the pen, the Montblanc, is about 17 grams, I think, lighter than the Jinhao 159. But here's what's neat about or why you might want to get the Jinhao 159. Perhaps you're thinking about buying even used a Montblanc 149. Getting a Jinhao 159 might help as far as getting a feel of the size of the pen. Of course, it's not going to be exact, but you know, given the size of the nibs, the Montblanc 149 has a noticeably larger and nicer nib. But anyway, it'll kind of help you to feel. This is a big pen. This is probably the largest pen that I have in my inventory, and so it might be worth buying one of these to see if you don't have any large pens like this, if you really like it. Now again, writing with it's going to be heavier than a Montblanc, but as far as the size, the feel in your hand may be very similar enough, because most of us don't live near a pen store that carries the Montblanc line to where we could go in and actually hold one in our hands. So thank you for tuning in to the Pen Man today, and we will transition to some other colors of the Jinhao 159, as well as the tour of the pen, writing samples, size comparisons, and so forth. All right, so we will see you on the other side. Alrighty, here's a look at the Jinhao 159, and it comes in this, it's a no doubt brass underneath this lacquer. Now we don't know I don't know how long this finish will last on this pen, depending on how much it's going to be used. I have enough pens to rotate where I probably won't wear out the finish in a while, and whether it lasts on the grip or not, I'm not really sure either. But anyway, so here you have it. Okay, so let's take a look at how many rotations. To take the cap off, we have pretty much one. I'd give it one rotation. Let's see, let's try this again. Maybe 1 1/4. Okay, so let's give it that. All right, I'm not going to unbox this because it didn't come in a box. It came in a plastic wrapper, and that was it. All right, taking this apart. This is a cartridge converter. They do supply an international standard converter with this. There's no cartridge came with it, but you're ready to go. You're ready to ink it up and start writing immediately. Again, the Montblanc 149, see, I knew I was going to do that, is a piston filler, and obviously unscrewing from the back and so forth, and you would have your ink window there. All right, the clip has a the standard Jinhao emblem on it. Otherwise, it's kind of shaped like the Montblanc clip. And then on the band here, it simply reads Jinhao on the front, and then 159 on the back. You see that okay? Okay, the finials are just very, I would say, subdued, classic. At least they didn't try to copy Montblanc with the Montblanc star or something similar to it, a big dot or something like that. So I appreciate that. The grip is a nice size, especially if you like a larger grip. And it is kind of hard to find pens with a truly large, nice fat grip. You can in some of the more expensive pens, but it seems like the more inexpensive, they're not that large. Even especially when some of them make the grip faceted to where it looks wide like this, but when you put your fingers in the facet, it actually narrows the grip down a little bit. The nib, and again, I do appreciate that Jinhao tries to make their nib look somewhat fancy. This is their chrome accents, so this wouldn't, a two-tone nib or a gold nib wouldn't look right on that, but you see their logo, and it says 18 karat gold plated, but there's no gold plating on this. This is just a steel nib, and that's it. No gold plating, I'm sorry. But they probably stamp that on all their nibs, so that on their two-tone nibs, where they may have some inexpensive gold plating, that they can say it's gold plated. But they didn't do it here. They didn't gold plate it here, but they still say they did. So there you go. Turning it around, here's a look at the nib, or the feed. Nothing really fancy there. Will this post? Yes, of course it will post. It's rather heavy to do so, but it will. And it does rub against my knuckle there a little bit, but I don't know. I guess it would be a little uncomfortable. I don't know. To me, with a pen like this, it's back weighted. With the cap being as heavy as it is, I wouldn't recommend posting, but it obviously is large enough to where you don't have to post. All right, here's a size comparison of the Jinhao 159 compared to the Diplomat Aero, the Pilot 820 Custom 823, and the TWSBI 580 AL. Here they are unposted and posted. Boy, that TWSBI sure is a big difference there. Again, we have the let me get that going. Okay, so right there is already something I was going to comment on. We have the Jinhao 159, and this would be a medium nib. I'm using Kaweco Pearl Black. Wetness, not too wet, not too dry. Okay, how about squiggles? Okay, there's no hard starts or skips there, but As I was using this pen this last week, I did notice, and it seems to be, of course I had my cap off earlier, so that's why I never experienced the hard start like I had up there, so I'm sure that was the problem with that. The nib is a smooth, it's a smooth nib for, you know, just a inexpensive nib like this, but it does, if you don't have it rotated right, sometimes, now I got it started there, sometimes if you start writing, it will give you a hard start. As you turn this nib, sometimes it will start to skip. So just a heads up, I haven't done any work on the nib, any polishing or any of that, so, but it is, you know, right there, there's no hard start, so that's good. But again, there was some there in my use of the pens. Now the step down here, one person said that the threads seem sharp to them. They don't seem sharp to me at all. This is my thumb rides right on, big fat thumb there, rides right on the step down and the threads, and I don't feel them being as sharp as let's see here. As I rub my fingers like that, you know, sometimes on the step up it will be sharp, especially on the cheaper pens. This has a very smooth step up. It's not rounded per se. I don't really see it as being rounded, but it's not a harsh step up, and I don't know, these threads are not sharp to me, so I like that. All right, I know I forgot reverse writing, so just put that out there. Okay, reverse writing. Only a touch scratchy, you can call it feed, or a little bit of feedback there, but does a good job. Nice fine line on the reverse writing. What do I think about this Jinhao 159 wannabe? It ain't never going to be a Montblanc 149. Well, for what it is, I like it. It is a good writing pen. It took a little getting used to the size, but once I started using it, I kind of like it. All right, so I do like this Jinhao 159, and especially when you're talking, I don't know, $6 to $12. I got this from Goulet, and I think I paid 12 bucks for it, but you can get these on eBay for a lot less than that, no doubt. I was just having to do a pin haul through them, so I figured I'll get them all in one chunk. Kind of hard to do that on eBay, I think, unless I haven't figured it out. Okay, so I'd encourage you, and especially if you're thinking about forking over a lot of money for a Montblanc 149, just because it's, you know, it's a great pen, great reputation. You would probably never regret buying one, but if you're not really sure, especially due to the size, you might want to pick one of these up and just check out, see how that kind of feels in your hand. Not the weight again, but at least the feel of the pen, the size feel of the pen. All right, there you go. Thanks again for tuning in to the Pen Man as we took a look at this Jinhao 159. If you own one of these Jinhao 159s, do us all a favor and put your opinions in the comments below. We'd all appreciate hearing what your experience is. And until the next time, you all have a nice day. And don't forget to check out these two other videos.